Make sure you know how to get back. That notice board? Filled with the leftovers of used-to-be wants. You're getting close to one of those old Toxanol brick towns. Pay attention. The Toxanol Corporation made this place, and then just threw it away when they were done with it. Toxanol never cared about the waste, as long as they didn't have to pay to clean it up. There must be a track somewhere in this brick town. Just hope it's not buried. A flush stool from the back in time. It's an apparatus that sink-sunks yellow juice and brown bobs. Let's try out the brush away, see if you can off-chase some drip droppings. Seems like the tighteners on the piping need to be unturned correctly to drain the flush. Just a few moves left. Make them count. That's the kind of trouble you really want to wash away. This corner of the world is called Bricktown. The sun is coming up fast. You found the track! Amazing it wasn't destroyed. So much of this place was just discarded. Lucky the track somehow made it. No, it was never nice. It was new once, but that's not nearly the same thing. Just being new never lasts. The tracks moved on from Bricktown, and you should too. You wear those well. Would you look at that? A fry sparker from the back in time. Hardware that fix-cooked provisions. Try it out, see if it still works. Looks like the fry sparker's knobs need to be in sync if you want to get the hardware working. Just a few moves left. Make them count. It's a fry sparker mindset. Boom, you got something. It's not exactly what you wanted, but you got it right away. The shadows are getting shorter by the moment. Let's see. The world is awake. Never thought I'd see a clothes soaker from the long gone again. It's an up cleaner of unwash, the clean-cut way to unstain garb. You need to turn the pegs in sync. Just a few moves left. Make them count. You really put a spin on it. Found the whereabouts, the deepest, darkest forest in the land, sometimes hard to see for all the trees. Not done. Energy overcharge. Knuckle sandwich. Overflow. It's a brand new day. A key for every lock. Reflexed. Better keep to yourself until morning to be safe. It's a tunnel that leads to another side of the same world. You made it to the quarrel spot. You've got to hate what the fighting's done to it. That's going to leave a mark. Someone always thinks they can beat you. Let your nose lead your way. There's a serenity about this spot. It's a place for rest and recovery, when day can become night, and the other way around. It's the chug yard. This box once tailed a chugger. Now it's just off track. Tribes always scavenging for scrap, and the yard has plenty to go around. But they should have stuck to looting instead of playing around with sprockets. Hack and slash. Mighty Extreme. You're low on health. Flying Fists. The Deep Cut. Bullets everywhere. Bomber Bonkers busy ram-banging the door. This is your chance. Your power now. Smirked. Good hit. You could put that to good use. So many creatures doing so many things during the day. Let's see. Yes, you can do anything. The sky's the limit. Now, let's take this back to Earth. Wow, you really took that all the way down to the end, in flames. The board mainly has posts from those that used to work at the chug yard back in the days gone. They don't make much sense these days. Not much more to say about the board, but Gizmo is holed up in the underyard here working on that Mekton of his. The Toxanol Corporation used to run chugger-chuggers out of here, big machines on rails with smokestacks that fouled the air. The rails used to be filled with chugs packed tight with two-leggeds, like guppos in a tin. You're on the right track. Keep your eyes open. Breathe in that day shine. Watch you flex. It's a wonder some of these up and downs still work. Guess they built machines better in the past. The spent nuclear fuel that Toxanol dumped in the surf had detrimental effects on the marine habitats, while the overflowing landfills contaminated the groundwater. Combined, this sent their world hurtling on an inevitable road to ruin. I need to brush up on my Wando, but I have a feeling he believes it was you that caused the bang at the yard. Oh, and he says he knows you. You used to call him Gizmo. He gave you the oil-greased hands when he taught you how to upcycle. Gizmo remembers you as a nice kidling, and he can still sense the warmth of your good heart. But Gizmo says how you experience a memory can be different. You know the story, but sometimes the truth it brings is personal. It carries so much hate. and its insatiable hunger has only increased over the years since it claimed revenge on your parents. Gizmo says he also has re-memories from the long gone, but unlike you, he doesn't think of the past, for it's gone. He understands history made Loopalupin a big part of your past, your present, and soon, your future. You still believe there's some good in everyone. You still have hope for tomorrow. He says you should know that what's meant to be will always find a way, but history shouldn't consume you. Gizmo understands you still have strong feelings, but urges you to keep them under control. You've witnessed firsthand what it'll lead to.
Yes, that's the way. No arguing with that.
Sometimes your gut is flat out wrong.
Don't ever doubt yourself. You are number one.
Even the dark knows you're better than this.
Stick with me. We'll rule the world.
Would like to know if you ever doubt the choices you made on the path that brought you to this point. Would you have been happier going in a different direction? Figures you're either a rare person or a good liar. Maybe both. Sad to see the Tree of Life is going to die and take everything with it, but it's not like he didn't expect it. Grateful to you for coming back and doing your best to change things. You were the only chance they had. Wonders if you liked working with the Jagni. They always hunker down in their homes, gathering their things around them. Says things are important, but life's maybe a lot more so. But that's not important now. Gizmo says it's taken a long time to bring the past up to the present, and where you go from here is up to you. You need to set the past aside, at least for now. He can't leave the Underyard as he has no protection against the vacuum in the dead zone. So you need to salvage scrap to upcycle the Mekton, starting with the old crate outside. You should return when you've retrieved the scrap. There's no time to waste if you want to make the Mekton strong enough to fight the Jumbo Puff. That's what he decided to call it after he saw it for the first time. It's big and fluffy. That's accurate enough. If you can see past the blue color, that is. You sit down too long, you might not get up. There's short of breath and death to this zone. Better take care. He who half breathes, half lives. That's the leftover you're looking for. This is harder than it looks. Dawn must be coming soon, because it's awfully dark right now. Look up, not down. He says that's enough to get the Mekton functional. You'll have an engine, a fuel soaker, a gun, and a gathering net, but no armor, nor enough oxygen supply. He made a suction device so the Mekton can use the black tar as an instant refuel. You can also use it to clear oily goo puddles, so you can pass and access hard-to-get-to areas. He's been working on another project for the Mekton, a cannon, but it needs ammunition, and by that he means the scripts. He says if they're trained right, they'll turn into a distraction for the Jumbo Puff. The best way to find scripts is to go talk to Moog. He knows the ins and outs of every breathing thing left alive after the apocalypse. Unfortunately, this means you'll have to venture farther out into the dead zone than Moog's camp on the STEEPDEEPO. Once you find Moog, he'll be able to give you directions to where you'll find scripts. Gizmo thinks he's a little peculiar, but very knowledgeable. He has the ins and outs of all monster and creature whereabouts. Listen to all that night noise. The Grease Monkey's Mekton is built sturdy, just like himself. Can you imagine how this place used to look before the dead oil flood? Might want to hold your breath before you head any further. You're about to witness the breathtaking vistas of what's known as the Dead Zone. In the old world, roads like this really led somewhere. Now, most of them lead to disaster. That over there is STEEPDEEPO, the cliffside that Moog hangs on to. This one's impressed to see you out here. He figured you'd be dead by now. Not many are as tough and clever as you must be. Claims he goes after the most dangerous game, huge monsters. Moog says that all your power doesn't do you a bit of good if you're not willing to pull the trigger when the time comes. Choosing what to kill and what to spare are the most important decisions you'll make. You might have a steady aim, but you need to be sure that you pick your targets with care. It's hard to make those life or death decisions for others, but someone's got to do it. Otherwise, they'll do it themselves, and you know they'll miss. Claims he mostly kills whoever he doesn't like. Worries that when the world dies, there won't be any monsters left. What will he shoot then? Wonders why you work so hard to keep things alive. Bullets help thin the herd instead. Approves of you working with the Jagni. They have the hunting spirits of a flock of hawks. Enjoys it when he gets the chance, though they're not much good against monsters. But enough of that, right? He says the wildlife, nature, has changed and turned against us. Instincts of survival took over when the world changed. He's not sure about their veggie diet anymore, and if it's changed, who knows what it's done with the chemical composition of their body output. Right now, though, he feels he's come to a point where he's got a pretty clear idea on the whereabouts of monsters, both tall and short. Says as big as they are, the world is bigger. To find where they are, you need to see where they've been. Moog says you must learn to walk before you can run. It takes practice before you can call yourself a monster hunter. Fortunately for you, he can help. He understands you need to start off with something small before you go big. There's no better place to start than a squip cave. Hunting down a couple of these little critters for yourself should keep you on your toes. Says you stick to the hunting and shots present themselves later. Let's see.